Motors, BB Car Care, Westpac, CUB, McEwen's, Vulcan Heating, Gas Winter Clearance and Open Space 2000.
For the top six hot up as fourth place North Melbourne tries to consolidate its position after a great win last week over the West Coast Eagles. The Demons too, though, are in great touch, winning 4 of their last 5 matches with Alan Jakovic in top form in front of goals. At Windy Hill, the Bombers, who've dropped 4 of their last 5, take on the Sydney Swans, who've won their last 2, coming off victories at Football Park, and then last week another thriller over Richmond at the SCG. For round 20, the AFL Today.
Yes, and a very good evening, everyone. Welcome to the AFL Today. 4 games played this afternoon in round 20. And, of course, tonight, coming up in around 90 minutes, it'll be Collingwood and the Brisbane Bears live from Carrara. Well, at the MCG this afternoon, it was the battle of co-tenants Melbourne and North. Both teams eyeing a place in the finals. For the Roos, it was a chance to show that their brilliant form of yesterday against the Eagles was no fluke after a 74-point drubbing the previous round against Essendon at Windy Hill. They'd made one compulsory change, the luckless Ben Buckley, replaced by Carey, having his first game since round 10, and a late change, Steele replacing McDonald in the selected side. At Melbourne, Grinter came in for Cuthbertson as the Demons tried to make it 4 wins in a row. Our commentators are Drew Morfitt, Dennis Cometti and Don Scott. We pick up play with 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter. It's Melbourne by 7 points.
Kick by Bryce short of centre wing. Bennett in front, fairly a spoil. Grinter. High shoulder, hard one, same direction as the ball. Glad it was him, not me.
Took the mark and plays on. Brayshaw in front of Jakovic, takes it on his chest. So just a goal apiece so far in this term. Staritsky needed to go and did. Good mark. Showed a lot of courage. Now he's away. One bounce through the middle. Long kick. Longmire on the lead. Road. Gutsy effort.
Good mark by Road.
Now he's away. End-to-end stuff. Not too many scores. Road towards half forward. Eichel.
Good play by Lyon to keep Crocker down. Allowed Eichel to drift in front of them.
Certainly was. Jakovic is favoured by the kick. Back he goes. Clark will give it over the top. Willie to Jakovic. Pops it up very high in the air. Jakovic and Brayshaw. Brayshaw did well. Lyon couldn't control it. Brayshaw once more. Good defence. Gets it to Staritsky. Scholl, clever evasion. McRae, back to Scholl. Scholl runs it up towards the wing, kicks towards half forward. Yates, no contest.
50 metres.
Against Wayne Carey.
Graham Yates wants to watch it. Nearly put the hand in Carey's face. Could have given away that free kick or the 50 metres. There it is, 50 metres.
Silly.
Kick by Yates. Jakovic leads. Well, you might be asking the question, when was the last time a player kicked the first 5? But later in the game, we might be saying all 12 or 15, the way this is going.
That's a good kick by Yates and also a good lead by Jakovic.
Don's still working on it. That's his project.
Well, obviously, you know the answer, Dennis.
No idea. Who would it be? Can you think of someone? Ablett, did he do that? First 6?
I don't think they've made that record book. Jakovic, this one holds up a bit back into the breeze. Just sneaks home, though.
Oh. Well, what a remarkable goal. It just dropped. It really did hold up. Distance was a problem. So you can go back North Melbourne and rue the 50-metre penalty, because that 50-metre penalty gave Yates the kick and he sent it up towards Jakovic for a goal.
Out of the middle North, but only as far as stretch. I was thinking the last time a player kicked all his team's goals. I can think of one. I think it was John Worsfold at Windy Hill for the Eagles the season before last or so.
One.
That's right. Out of bounds. Right half forward for Melbourne. Siri did it this season. That's right, of course, against Footscray. A lot of input. 6-11 to 5-4. Melbourne doing well at the present time, having their best patch of the game, at least on the scoreboard. Steele got it to Schwass. This is German. He's been very good in the opening half. Lures a man, then pops it across to Scholl, who swings it out very wide, presenting Longmire with quite a task. He tries to knock it to Ramiro. Succeeded. Yates got him again. Yates is doing very well. Larkin taken high. That was rather clumsy by Clark.
Oh, this will be reversed.
By Cameron going across, having a word to Scholl. The kick, I think, will stand.
Well, really, he should have reversed it.
It's a relayed kick.
No, hang on, it's going
off the hand pass. He's given it, so he's relayed it. Only about 10 metres, but a better angle for German.
He'll kiss Peter German.
He's a terrific player, Peter German, and that's a fine kick. North Melbourne get closer. That's their 6th. They're 6-4. Melbourne 6-11.
Well, not a problem to German. He usually lets them go. If he gets it around the 50-metre mark on the run, it's usually a goal. He was only 40 metres out on that occasion. He wasn't on the run, but distance wasn't a problem for him. And he's done exceptionally well today, Peter German.
19 possessions so far, Don.
5 3/4 minutes to go to half-time. Steins wins in the middle. Lyon.
Martin in the ruck too for North Melbourne.
Gallagher off the ground. They're really lacking a specialist ruckman. Chandler's hand pass is knocked down. Comes to Tingay. Steins out in open space. Can he get this?
Maybe Drew Martin's got to just run or use his mobility on Steins. That might be the reason why Martin is in the ruck. Also the fact that he couldn't control Djakovic.
A boundary throw-in. 7 points the difference. Melbourne in front. Clean possession. No, he had clean possession. Then it was dirty possession. Steins. Now Melbourne have it. Obst. His left footer. Djakovic from behind. Plays on. Will this make it? Oh, it broke back and was taken over the line. So we'll give it a rush behind. We won't give it a score to Djakovic, but I've got him for 6 goals 4.
Why did he play on? That's the question.
Only 30 metres out, if that.
Now, actually, Peter Cameron's having a word to him now. Not frightened to mouth off Alan Djakovic.
No, he seems pretty fiery. Brayshaw kicks in. Schwass up in front. Good grab, that one.
Actually, Gary Lyon should have punched that on that occasion. He was behind.
Underestimated Schwass, obviously. He's at left half back. Towards centre wing. Carey got a fist on it. Got it away from Spalding. This is Larkin. Pretty quiet so far. Inside to Steele. Steele running towards half forward. Intent initially on drawing him in. Still he wants to, but eventually was indecisive and wasted the kick. It's gone directly across the ground. Phoebe leads in the race out there. No one to kick to. He goes towards the boundary. Scholl trying to get across there in time. It's a pretty good effort. What a wonderful kick around the outer side by Stephen Phoebe. He looked up. Scholl was the only man within, I suppose, 70 or 80 metres down the ground, and he beat him, just running it out of bounds, tantalisingly close to the North Melbourne player.
Actually, what Steele did could almost earn him a conversation on the phone with the coach. He ran way too far and didn't use his teammates. McGrath to Rock. Short pass to German. Peter German outstanding. Round the corner he goes to Roberts at right half forward. Too far out to score. Centering kick. Longmire with Bryce.
She's doing well, Bryce. He's in front.
Being held that time and wins the free kick. Yes, he's been a good player. Beveridge up before acceptances. Steins with Schwass. Holding the ball. Yes. Well, Jimmy Steins can't do a thing wrong.
You wouldn't see that too often, would you? A real will-o'-the-wisp like Schwass. And Steins was sweating on him and got him. Marvellous stuff by the champ. Plus 50. What a player. He is unique. There's no question about that, Jim Steins. He's hard to categorise. Centering kick. Back goes Bennett, got a hand to it, it falls behind. Scholl comes away. German again. McRae on the burst, up through midfield. Probing kick intended for Longmire, who gets rid of Bryce. Runs back into an open goal and kicks it. Well, the umpire had no angle on that one. He was running down the middle. Bryce was between he and Longmire, and I'm sure he couldn't have seen what the heck happened there. 7-4 to 6-12.
Well,
Watch it again.
a player doesn't come out of screen or in play at 1,000,000 miles an hour if he's not pushed. Look at that. You can't fight that. Oh. But anyway, that's Longmire's 3rd goal. He won't take it back.
Well, Longmire got away with that. Kicked his 3rd goal. That's 73 for the season. Back in the middle with 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. Anybody's game. Demons by 2 points. Steins wins the hit-out. Lyon. Lovett applying the tackle. Played that by McRae. Gave the hand pass away. Steins another possession. Big climb and a mark by Scholl.
Most improved player, Craig Scholl.
Kick by Scholl to half forward. Steins gets back there and punches away to the front. Scholl to Grinter. Grinter straight up the middle. Jakovic. He was held down by Brayshaw. Fairley took the mark.
Great mark by Fairley.
Kicks towards the outside wing. Melbourne have got the numbers out there. German kept out of it. Tingay's got it. Didn't know what to do with it. German's beaten 3 of them. Across to Stevens, who kicks down towards half forward. Steins once more. Jim Steins, 8th mark, 17th possession. Grinter tries to knock it on. Stevens slips over. Did well, got it to Scholl, who's having a very good second term. Kicks in towards centre half forward. Beveridge arriving in the nick of time, but Martin with power. 35 metres out, goes goalward, it's good. Great goal, North.
Make tracks into your nearest gas and fuel showroom. It's the gas winter clearance, and prices have taken a tumble.
When you first buy a home, you don't really own very much of it, do you? But if you have a Westpac home loan, you can own more of your home much sooner. You can reduce the term of your loan without increasing the amount of your repayments. You can even vary your loan at any time to suit your changing circumstances. Just talk to your Westpac branch about these and other ways you can own your home sooner.
You can bank on us.
We've just located another case of abuse. Follow me. This sort of thing happens when you get involved with people you don't know, people you can't trust. People who treat cars like this. But here at BP Car Care, you know who you're dealing with. Every time your local BP Car Care man does a job, he puts his name on the line. Now you can fight car abuse wherever you see the BP Car Care sign.
BP, on the move.
Look into Panasonic's G3 VHS camera for brilliant extra features that mean brilliant pictures. Full color viewfinder so you know that what you see is what you get. Unique AV widescope so you can replay right there and then, sound and all. Then watch it all again on VHS home video recorders anywhere. Panasonic's compact G3 VHS camera. Brilliant.
Have you just received a bank statement? Has some of your interest been taken out in tax? You can quote your tax file number to your bank and it won't happen anymore.
Well, I think Kellogg's cornflakes are good value because nowadays with the economy the way it is, they're only 20 cents a serve.
Well, it has lots of vitamins in it, which I'm pleased that the children have. And I know that it'll kind of last them through the day until their next meal.
I love them. I think they're absolutely delicious. And if I haven't got a packet in the kitchen when my youngest son Daniel comes home, then there's trouble because he loves them.
Kellogg's cornflakes, because the simple things in life are often the best.
And so very little in it at half-time. North Melbourne 8-4. Melbourne rather inaccurate 6-12. North Melbourne by 4 points as we go to the third quarter.
So it's Michael Martin in ruck. 5 goals kicked on him at full-back, and now he's up against Jim Steins, the best player this season. So he's had a tough day, Martin. Anyway, North Melbourne came out with it. Stevens couldn't get the kick clear. Clark for Melbourne only back towards the centre circle. Chandler had it, lost it. The umpire paid the mark. Melbourne fans didn't like that.
Brett Lovett on the half-back flank for Melbourne. Earl Spalding's gone up forward.
Chandler's kick just inside the 50, and there he is, Jim Steins again, to take his 9th mark.
And as we saw, Gary Lyon right beside Jim Steins, so Lyon obviously playing on the back line now.
Kick by Steins back towards the centre. Climb by Bennett. And Bennett seems to have sacrificed his own game to come well up the ground and leave the forward line open. This kick dropping short of Jakovic. Brayshaw missed it. He taps back, still a chance for Melbourne. Phoebe overruns it with Staritsky. Well played by Staritsky. On all fours. Gets it away to Rock. Rock's hand pass to a running McRae.
McRae towards half forward. Eishold had it, then lost it. Dives on top of it. Claimed by Schwass, and the umpire goes across to ball it up.
A little hard. He had head between the legs of Schwass. Really couldn't move it on then. Simon Eishold
did pretty well. Eishold outnumbered 2-1. There's the bounce. Steins off his fingertips. It comes to Rock inside the centre square. Pulls it back across his body. Romero running into space inside the 50. Does most of his work forward of centre, Jose Romero.
Early in the season, it was Rock who seemed to be playing that forward, permanent forward pocket. Romero doing the work up the ground. Now it's changed around. Rock has been in really good form. A little flat since the state game.
Roberts' lead ignored. Romero kicks from 48 metres. Has it got the carry? They contest right on the line, and Bryce knocks it against the post. North Melbourne increased their lead, 8-5, 6-12. Alan Jakovic has all the goals for the Demons. Quite unique.
Paul Bryce not too sure. Playing for Melbourne against his old team. Kicks at 60 metres. Comes to Eishold in front of the pack. He's holding it, says the umpire. The umpire didn't believe Eishold's attempts to hand pass away. Back to Rock. Clark comes in to spoil. Martin goes to ground. Eishold's back there, keen to make amends. His hand pass is knocked out of play in Dennis Cometti's bunker, and we'll have a throw in. Sand wedge would be a good choice.
The boundary umpire goes to his bag. Martin and Steins. Martin in front, wrestling match. It falls to Stevens. Hurried kick down towards full forward. Longmire was held.
Rowan Sawyer's right on the spot on that occasion, but then again, they're both guilty, Longmire and Bryce, of holding one another. They've been at it all day. And one has held the other as much as the other has held the other. You can make sense of that.
I understand completely. So here's Longmire. That worries me. Longmire from 20 metres out. It's a goal. 4 to John Longmire, and North Melbourne have been terrific today, and they stretch their lead.
Yes, well, he's starting to get on course now with his kicking, Longmire. 3-3 last week. He holds the ball or gets near the ball quite a lot, just can't capitalise. But he's kicked 4 straight today.
.74 for the season for John Longmire, with 4 rounds to go and possibly finals. Will he get the 100 that he missed out on last year? Here go North out of the middle. Staritsky. Good kick across the ground. Schwass. Gee, should have grabbed that. Taken by Tingay. Bouncing ball to Clark. Mistake by North could cost them a goal. Clark short pass. Eishold marks about 60 metres from goal. Pumps it long and high. Steins is there. Oh, Bennett. It's Steins. Comes from behind and takes the mark.
Actually, that's good play by Steins. That really does put the pressure on the opposition ruckman. But Martin was equal. He was down there with Steins, following it everywhere, but he was just too big on that occasion. He had the bigger leap, and he came from behind.
Well, this is going to spoil Jakovic's day. Kicked all 6 for Melbourne up until this. Surely Steins will break that run from right in front. Well, that's great, because you often see a ruckman drifting across in defence as a spare man and doing his business across the half-back line, but to get up forward and be taking marks and kicking goals, as well as the possessions he's had everywhere, fantastic. Well, it is terrific. And I've still got a case for the big man resting, because in the forward pocket, because you can see the advantage of a big man on that occasion. Djakovic just not quite big enough. You can rest your ruckman down there. I think they're still at an advantage.
5 points the margin then. Martin wins it. Knocked on by Romero, taken by Dyson though for the Demons, and Melbourne go forward. Storming up the ground was Brayshaw, but a clever mark was taken in front by Bennett, who wanted to play on. He was dragged down by Fairley. Now it's with Djakovic. Djakovic from 20 metres out kicks a goal. His 7th. 2 quick goals to Melbourne, and they're in front.
To build a vehicle of power and refinement requires great perseverance. Mitsubishi is proud to introduce a luxury car for those who admire similar qualities. From the partnership between Australia and Japan. The new Verada V6. Please consider.
The Monster Truck Challenge is on. More live supercharged monster action than you've ever seen before. Catch the granddaddy of them all, Bigfoot, in a car-crushing, wheel-standing battle with the Gravedigger. See the mighty monster tank, Beastron the transforming robot, and the world's only monster train. You heard correctly, a monster train. Right over the top. 2 hours of non-stop ground-pounding action. Presented by Triple M at the National Tennis Centre. Get your monster tickets now at Bass, but hurry, tickets selling fast.
Come on, dinner, come on.
No matter what the dogs are doing, when it's time for their dinner, time for their pal, they soon come running.
Martin Hewitt, breeder of champion Basset Hounds, tells why his dogs prefer Pal.
The reason they like Pal so much is the meatiness in it. It's the solid nourishment which keeps them fit and active. It's got lots of solid chunks in it, and we enjoy giving it to them because we know it's got vitamins and marrowbone. Well, the dogs eat it with a great deal of gusto. You just can't beat Pal. It's as simple as that.
Top breeders recommend Pal.
They had moved to Arizona, but the boss is a family man and no kids means no job.
You need a miracle.
Help wanted, kids, Sunday on the Magical World of Disney.
The trap is laid.
Kate's massaging wouldn't be able to help this.
It would at least relieve the pain.
The scene is set.
I thought massage was meant to feel good.
I knew they were made for each other.
For their first romantic kiss.
You've no idea how much I've wanted to do this.
Is it true love?
You're not having second thoughts about me, are you?
A country practice, Monday on 7.
Djakovic's 7th goal. Steins has won in the middle for Melbourne. They've kicked the last couple, the Demons, and lead by a point. We've had 10 lead changes. Love it. No great distance with that kick. Chandler couldn't take the mark. Eichhold for Melbourne, number 25. Dyson off the ground. Staritsky over the ball. Obst. Dyson again. Obst. Socket forward and out of bounds in the forward pocket. 60 plays 59, and all of a sudden a rush by the Demons has them in front again.
Real crunch game for both these teams this afternoon. North can't afford to drop it inside the 6. Their record 11-6, but Melbourne, Collingwood and the Adelaide Crows queuing up just outside the 6. Eichhold got it from Bennett and kicks a goal. 3 quick goals to the Demons, and they've skipped away suddenly and lead by 7 points.
Well, let's hope that gives Simon Eichhold a little confidence. He has been down, consequently his form's been struggling. Bennett, who used his body well then. He's got a good football brain, Darren Bennett. Not frightened to use his body at boundary throw-ins. Will work in front. That was a good step by Simon Eichhold.
66-59. Steins clean possession. Another 3-vote game for Jim Steins. That's unless Djakovic kicks 18 or something. Across the half-back line, that kick by Crocker. Doesn't find touch. Eichhold pumps it back. Clark is there. Djakovic waits. And the ball out of play about 30 metres around from the behind post for a throw-in. Alan Djakovic has kicked 7-3.
Well, both these teams have gone in spurts today. Melbourne midway through the second term, then North Melbourne came back at them. To start this term it was North, and now Melbourne getting a run on. Fairley down to Romero, out of defence towards midfield. Mark is missed by Stevens. He keeps it in front. Obst arriving though for Melbourne. Now Martin gave it away straight to Stretch, who goes against the flow. 55 metres out. The kick was half smothered. Comes to Bennett, to Spalding 20 metres out, and he's kicked another one. A real power surge by Melbourne now, and they lead by 13 points, 10-12 to 9-5. They could be in the process of breaking this game open.
It was like a training routine, wasn't it? Here's Stretch getting it. He goes to the long one, but it's smothered. And then Bennett gets onto it. There's the training activity, just a cross casual to Spalding, and he runs in with no pressure.
Free kick in the middle to North Melbourne, taken quickly by Martin. Roberts couldn't take the mark. It was reported earlier on, Mark Roberts. Little kick out on the full by Tingay. And a chance for North. Well, North kicked the first goal of this quarter, but Melbourne have kicked 4 in 4 minutes.
Gallagher coming on, Martin off for North.
Well, you've got to put somebody on Steins. You've got to do something to stop his dominance. Mark dropped by Scholl, but paid by the umpire. 13 points the difference, Melbourne in front. Longmire, good mark.
It's given too much latitude by Paul Bryce. Bryce started 5 metres behind on that occasion and just could not make up the distance. You cannot afford to give a fellow that much room. Look, there's the distance.
He's kicked 4, going for number 5, John Longmire. Good effort.
Well, we've got 2 pretty good full forwards on the ground. Djakovic at one end, Longmire at the other. And when you've got forwards like this, it really does reward the work of the fellows further down the field. They have their work capitalised upon. And that's a good kick by Longmire. He's been very, very accurate. Hasn't kicked a point today. 5 goals straight.
(10-5 to 10-12), just over 17 minutes remaining in this third term. Gallagher and Steins, it falls at their feet. Romero goes in. There's a whistle. Melbourne getting a free kick. It'll be taken by Beveridge, who wastes no time. He kicks it down towards Steins, who did well to turn around and find that one.
It was an excellent effort, wasn't it?
Terrific.
Because his man was still in the centre of the ground.
21 possessions to Steins, who kicks from just outside the 50. Probing kick, they contest right on the goal line, off hands, in front, down goes Clark. Romero was against his back, not according to the umpire. German gets it out of bounds. It will be thrown in. Peter German, a little quieter so far in this term, certainly by the pace he was setting in the first half. He's had 22 possessions.
He had 22 to half time. He hasn't touched it yet this quarter in 11 minutes.
Eichhold tried to keep it in front. Romero claimed by Beveridge.
And the North Melbourne runner has made a beeline for Gallagher, Michael Gallagher, and I bet the message is stay with Steins.
Good luck. That's all I can say.
Tough contract. So here's the bounce, about 25 metres out from the Demons' attacking goal. Bennett got a fist on it. Storitsky controlled it pretty well, dragged off it by Eichhold. Down goes German. And he's getting a free kick. Not much in that, but Peter German's got the free.
Dominant in the first half with 3 marks and 22 possessions. Peter German straight up the ground for Gallagher. Here comes Steins. Punches from behind, but only to Larkin. Larkin's hand pass wide to Stevens. Stevens left foot at a half forward. Carey making a return. Done all right too. Here he goes, getting away from Gary Lyon. A centering kick. Great stuff to Roberts.
There's a free kick. I think it... Is he going to pay the advantage? No, he's not. He's taking that back. I wonder why.
Pushing the back as he was kicking, but it's really a tough one on North Melbourne.
They'd play the advantage, Dennis. The ball...
Yeah.
obviously left Carey, and I think...
Well, they've had 2 chances of being Roberts, either advantage or a relay.
I think he beat him with the whistle was all. The ball probably just left the boot when he blew the whistle.
Now, Carey's stats don't look all that good, but he's cut a path for teammates, and he's found Longmire a couple of times. From the boundary line, 45 metres out. The margin is 7 points. This to bring it back to 1 point. Offline, 1 straight kick in it. Oh, and listen to the North Melbourne fans. They reckon it should have been a goal to Roberts.
Wayne Schimmelbusch, rather pensive. Road kicks in, virtually straight down the middle. He's looking for Steins, and why not? Gallagher up in front, though, did well. This is Chandler. Tengay, who hasn't had a very good day, standing in the path of Chandler. Eventually, they work it forward from Dyson, but the mark is held by McRae. Forward of the centre circle, Dean McRae. Interesting. Oh, what courage.
That is courage. Wow.
Ramiro. Whoa.
Woof.
That was a superb effort by Jose Ramiro. You won't see any more courage than that.
Oh, you get this on replay. Watch this. Look at eyes only for the ball. Oh,
gee whiz.
Good effort. Good effort from the little fella. And he's up and he's all right.
Great to see.
Well, it warrants a goal, that effort, which
No
would level the
question.
scores.
Jose Ramiro, something heroic. Just under 14 minutes remaining in this term. Obviously a bit shaken. This could test him. Into the man on the mark. Often the case. Clark goes off the ground and gets it out of bounds. Well, bad luck for Jose, but I don't think he's quite with us just yet.
Also a good effort by Clark on the mark. Here it is. Actually, this is a good passage of play, isn't it? Firstly, the courage of Ramiro, and then the good effort by Clark on the mark to smother that kick.
Boundary throw in. Right half forward for North. Gallagher's in front. Got it down decisively to Scholl. Robbed of it by Obst, though. Floats a kick towards centre wing. Crocker goes back with courage. Couldn't mark it. Spalding emerges with the ball. Long kick down towards Djakovic. Oh, well played by Brayshaw. Brayshaw on the burst. In short to Stevens. Confronted by Lovett. A runner outside. He's told to play on. Kicks down towards half forward. Carey and Lyon. Lyon superbly done.
A forward in the first half. A defender now. To Lovett. Just forward of centre wing. So Melbourne's miracle charge of 4 goals in 4 minutes has been halted. But this is a good mark by Dyson. Too far out to score. Djakovic led and then goes back to the goal square. Dyson goes as hard as he can. Bennett in good position now. Offhand. Djakovic! Oh, sensational!
Well, you couldn't describe that goal. You'd have to see a picture of it. That'd have to nearly go down as one of the goals of the year.
Now, I can say that Dennis Stewart kicked a goal like that in a League Cup for Manchester City.
And watch this, Djakovic. Oh, excuse me, please.
Well, what a remarkable goal. Here's Clark out of the middle. Melbourne go forward again. Djakovic will lead back in the race. Open goal is beckoning. He goes off the ground and he's missed this time.
I think they should take him off, Dennis.
He got the scissor kick. He missed the penalty. 11-13 to 10-6. Remarkable stuff.
8 goals for
Alan Djakovic. The buzz goes around this ground. Chandler. Melbourne 11-13, North 10-6. Rock sold into trouble. Dyson soccers away. Beveridge has got it. Back towards Djakovic once more. Knocked away. Well done by Crocker with some time. As the sun breaks through, he kicks towards midfield. Obst knocked it away from Larkin. This is Steele through the centre. Goes looking for Roberts. Wide of the mark. It falls behind a Longmire. Strong tackle by Yates. Holding the ball. Yates has tackled superbly this afternoon.
And been awarded in nearly every occasion.
A vice-like grip that time. Stretch. 79 to 66. Melbourne by 13 points.
50 metres.
No. Says umpire Cameron. two of the league's most experienced umpires, Cameron and Saws, in charge. Mark to Spalding. A beauty.
Good mark. Will trying to get away, but being held there by Crocker.
Gee, that forward line has been kept open for Djakovic.
Oh, that should be 50, surely.
He's yet to kick 10, Djakovic. I'd like to be on him today. Here he comes. But Staritsky got back there to help Brayshaw and took a good defensive mark. 11-13 to 10 goals 6. Melbourne in front. 10.5 minutes to three-quarter time.
Like a final now. Stretch is up and he's paid the mark. I'm not sure it was. Stephen Stretch down towards left half forward. Best and fairest in 87 for the Demons. Came across from West Torrens. He goes looking for the key forward again, Djakovic. It's fisted away though. In trouble, German. Eichel, clever handball. Beveridge 20 metres out and he's missed.
Yeah, that was an excellent handball by Eichel to squeeze it through to Beveridge.
Beveridge should have done better. Lets himself down on occasions. The hard work had been done. A breather for Brayshaw.
Well, Michael Martin's about to come back. Will he be full back, ruckman, or where?
They're making changes. Frank Gumbleton's going down to the forward line. That's the North Melbourne runner.
I was going to say. That's a big move. There's Steele. Still deep in his own defensive area.
So Roberts, Mark Roberts, looks as if he's going to the back line, so they're going to pull a few moves here, North Melbourne.
Steele to the outer side wing. Dyson leads back in the race. Well played. This is Lovett. The centering kick. Spalding's got it. Surrounded by teammates. Can play on. Djakovic on the burst. He's in front. He's marked. Stretch runs onto the square. I don't think he'll be getting it. Djakovic hits the deck. Nothing to that.
In front of Brayshaw. Michael Martin on for North Melbourne.
So Djakovic has got 8.
And it could have been about 12.
Yes.
Easily.
And his 8th was the most spectacular, I'd suggest, of the season. Now kicking at number 9. May have missed. It's close. Now it's home.
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
A Bosch box of fuel, $169. A drill sharpener now $36. You can't buy them for less anywhere.
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
If saving money is your biggest goal, a Westpac bonus saver account pays not just 1, but 2 percentage points of extra interest per annum. You can bank on Westpac to really kick your savings along.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From the Bayside beaches to the Dandenong Ranges, from the Werribee River all the way to Frankston. This land was made for you and me. The Seaford wetlands to Brayside parklands, all the way to the Docklands, to the Warrandyte Greenbelt, the Hillsville Sanctuary, to Werribee Mansion. This land was made for you and me.
We've come a long way towards creating a network of open space linking our bay to the ranges. Just imagine how much more we could extend this network and develop new areas if you help too. Become a friend of Open Space 2000 and make your part of Melbourne an even better place to live. To help, phone this number.
Help me! You gotta help me! Let me in! Let her in! Okay. Hold this, hold it.
Chocolate, I think.
What in the world's happening?
It is an event of global significance.
What state are we in?
I don't want to be a minister for another 10 years.
Around the nation.
Back. It's okay. You got a chopper behind you.
In our own backyard.
Not much to tell about.
there's only one Melbourne news service you can rely on.
The Australians were relentless.
7 Nightly News.
9 goals to Djakovic, 48 for the season. Roberts gets the hand pass out. He's now up on the ball. To Stevens, to Longmire at full forward, but Price, an ex-North Melbourne player, outmarks him. Away to Yates. Left footer, short of centre wing. Phoebe, a good tackle. Umpire will ball this up.
He really does lay a heavy tackle, Andrew Obst. You see him there getting up. A very good player.
86 to 66, Melbourne leading. Been an outstanding third quarter. After North kicked the first goal of the term. Nothing doing out of this.
Oh.
Another ball up.
Scholl and Grinter at it.
Gee, there are a lot of players around this. Might have to be a free kick soon to clear the area. Your go, Dennis.
See what we can do. It's been a terrific term, this one. 7:25 remaining till three-quarter time. Melbourne by 20 points. North needing the next goal. Spalding shielding the ball. Made a path for Tingay. He goes down towards half-forward and Clark. Left the ball behind. McRae going nowhere. Confronted by Tingay. And the ball goes across the boundary line from the hands of Chandler. The tempo has really picked up. They're playing for keeps now. The stakes are high, and as you'd expect, these two sides rising to the occasion. Boundary throw in. Robertson Stein shoulder to shoulder. Steins got it down to Beveridge. Claimed by Scholl. Down he went. Steins picks it up like a rover. He's claimed. And another bounce. Melbourne led by 3 points at quarter time. The Kangaroos led by 4 points at half time. Not a good bounce. It favours Clark. Knocked on by Spalding. Intelligently. Stretch has got it now. He breaks towards centre half forward. Gives it to Grinter. Grinter from 60 metres out. Djakovic is running back. How will it bounce? Back over his head. Knocked through by Brayshaw. Well, Djakovic was trying again to kick it out of mid-air over his head. Going to be hard to practice at training.
Well, that last volley shot, I'm sure he dragged it from behind him. Somehow he hooked it around. Unbelievable. We'll see plenty more of that for the remainder of the season. Brayshaw straight up the ground. Roberts tried to hook it on for North. Then I think he was taken without it.
Steins is injured too. Steins is injured on the edge of the square.
Collided with Spalding.
Geez, that'd be bad news for Melbourne. If he hasn't got the votes in the Brownlow already, it'd be bad news for himself. He might have won it already. Schwass tries to see it to the line. He waited and waited for it to go out. Jimmy Steins back on his feet. Good news. What a game. 11 marks, 17 kicks, 4 hand passes, Jim Steins. And we've got 5.5 minutes and then another half an hour.
Boundary throw in. Spalding hooks it down to Obst. Clever. Gets it to Stretch. Floats one inside the 50. Shoulders going back, and that's a very good mark. And you just get the feeling now that the resistance is starting to crumble from North. Melbourne winning the tight situations.
It's a good mark by Simon Eichel, but I wouldn't bank him as far as a kick, but the short one's on if he goes quickly to Phoebe. Oh, he could have just popped it over because Phoebe was by himself in the hole.
Eichel has been busy since coming on the ground. And the kick just in short. This is Fairley. He'll bring it away. Not a good kick from Eichel. Clark should mark. No, well played. Knocked on by McRae. Martin had it slapped away by Spalding. Picked up by Stretch. Grinter.
That was a good kick by Stretch because he spotted Grinter by himself and got the ball there. It was an excellent pass.
Good move by Northey. Spalding's been most influential on the forward line in this term. He's had a very good quarter. Grinter.
Seems the more full forwards whistle for the ball quickly, the slower the deliverer is.
It's all part of the tactic. Here's Dyson from the short pass. He's directly in front, but a long way from goal. Gives it a ride on the breeze. Bennett flies from behind.
Well, the value of a big fellow in the forward pocket. Bennett, the big fellow in question. A big mark.
Yet to kick a goal this afternoon, completely overshadowed by Djakovic's performance. But this will be an important one for Melbourne. It's a goal.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From the Bayside beaches to the Dandenong Ranges, from the Werribee River all the way to Frankston. This land was made for you and me. The Seaford wetlands to the Braeside parklands, all the way to the Docklands, to the Warrandyte Greenbelt, the Hillsville Sanctuary, to Werribee Mansion. This land was made for you and me.
We've come a long way towards creating a network of open space linking our bay to the ranges. Just imagine how much more we could extend this network and develop new areas if you help too. Become a friend of Open Space 2000 and make your part of Melbourne an even better place to live. To help, phone this number.
We've just located another case of abuse. Follow me. This sort of thing happens when you get involved with people you don't know, people you can't trust. People who treat cars like this. But here at BP Car Care, you know who you're dealing with. Every time your local BP Car Care man does a job, he puts his name on the line. Now you can fight car abuse wherever you see the BP Car Care sign.
BP, on the move.
The new Comfort Refill Pack takes up less space when you throw it away, leaving more space for other things. The new Comfort Refill Pack, always soft on your clothes, now softer on the environment.
Television for tomorrow with Superflat Black Picture Tube. This is the one from Panasonic.
Yeah, Tuesday, 50,000 service. The price, hang on, I'll tell you exactly. If we find a problem, we'll give you a ring. Customer says you can put it on. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, well, you know those backyard boys. Yep. But we guarantee. Yep, that's for Jackaroo. Oh, we guarantee you'll love it. Not a problem. See you Tuesday.
Join Hey Dads, Rachel Beck, Greg Benson, Agro and Joe Bugner
I apologise, Agro.
for an hour of laughs. Sunday on The Main Event.
If you've seen it already,
This is a battle, and the casualties could be your hearts and souls.
enjoy it all over again.
Break out. I'm going to do it!
If you haven't,
I'm hearing rumours, John.
you're in for one of the great screen experiences of all time. Toyota presents
Seize the day.
Robin Williams in Peter Weir's masterpiece, Dead Poets Society, coming soon to 7.
In this quarter, Melbourne 7 goals 3 to 2-2. Here they come again. Steins. Round the corner he goes with the kick. McRae in front. Spilled a mark that he should have taken. Grabbed by Dyson. Open goal. But he hooked it.
Wasn't a good kick off the boot, that one. You see the ball didn't spin in the way it should have. It meant to be a drop punt. Instead of going end over end, it went side over side.
Brayshaw short passes to Martin. What a day he's had. 5 goals on him by Djakovic when he was at full back, then moved into the ruck. And Steins continued his dominance. Steins here again. Bennett in front. Oh, beautiful play on his own. Well, the last one was at practice. This time, Kevin Dyson from 45 metres.
Seven-point play.
He really did make sure of that, didn't he? It was an excellent mark by Bennett. Melbourne just too tall now, taking a lot of good high marks. And it was Bennett who spotted Dyson by himself. Quickly, well done, Bennett. As I mentioned earlier, you've got a good football brain. Dyson casually, he really does make sure of it. Lets it go from 45 metres out, a magnificent kick.
Well, it's been a marvellous half hour by the Demons. 30 minutes that could put them in this season's finals, as they've gone right over the top of North Melbourne. And they've kicked away now to lead by 33 points. Larkin, who's been so well held by Obbs, trying to go through the centre. McGrath's in there too. Eventually it comes to Roberts. Can they muster a late goal? Yates is in front of Romero, trying to go off the ground North, nothing doing. Yates still in there. Eventually it comes back to Steele, shrugs a tackle, pulls it across his body. Good effort. Goal.
There's some good work being done there by Graham Yates. He just couldn't trap the ball, but he struggled pretty hard. The ball spilled out to Steele. And Steele coming straight off the ground. That's an interesting one, isn't it? You kick a goal, you come straight off, being replaced by Schwash. There, Yates battling particularly hard. The ball spills out. Steele breaks the tackle of Yates and quickly gets his kick.
Just needed to get the arm there, didn't he?
Well, North have kicked 3 goals in this quarter. Melbourne have kicked 8. McRae knocked back by Obst. Martin loses it, regains it. Well done. Roberts, a mighty kick. 2 on 2. Carey can't take the mark. Crocker! And it's run through by Road for a rush behind.
Wayne Schimmelbusch, his second season as coach. So far 123, lost 16. Road towards the outer side wing. Roberts knocks it forward. Beveridge is at right half back. In bright sunshine now, he kicks through centre towards half forward. Oh, good mark. Bennett, quick hands. Got it away to Dyson. Dyson looking for Djakovic, and Djakovic is looking for number 10, and he's taken the mark. Plays on. Love it. Well, fine team football by Djakovic.
The ball just got to Brett Lovett before McGrath could get there.
Very strong mark by Djakovic in the pack.
Here it is, confident pass, and just gets there. Unselfish play.
Love it. Directly in front. The goal umpire travels a bit of distance, but it's a goal. And the margin is 32 points.
Well, Brett Lovett's first goal started at a half forward, playing as a half back now, and it's good to see half backs running down the ground. But also the other thing with Djakovic is the fact that he's a two-sided player. It's a good kick here by Dyson. Also good play earlier by Bennett to get it quickly across, but here's a two-sided Djakovic. See, quickly onto the left foot, not a problem. Normally a right foot kick.
Well, the half-time, Djakovic had kicked all of Melbourne's 6 goals. In this quarter, he's added 3, and there have been 6 other goal scorers. Spalding takes the mark at centre-half forward, and he has a chance to kick his second, Earl Spalding.
I wouldn't like to back Earl Spalding in. He's not the most reliable kick for goal.
If he kicks it, it'll be a 10-goal quarter for Melbourne, and that'll probably be their best stretch of football for the season. One stage they lost 5 games in a row and were threatened with missing out on the finals. They're outside the 6 at the moment. Kicked by Spalding. Djakovic, he marked it inside the field of play. Right on the siren. So this is for his 10th. It's for Melbourne's 10th for the quarter. And the way he's been kicking goals, I'm on him.
He can't run around though, Drew. If he runs around, he'll be called play on, and the quarter will end.
Well, he should go back further, Dennis, and open up the space.
Ticklish one for the umpire here. He's got to watch him closely.
Kick by Djakovic after the siren. A banana. Oh, the arms have gone up. He's kicked it. That's double figures for Alan Djakovic.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1991 AFL Premiership season.
And Melbourne far too good after half-time, running out winners by 52 points. Djakovic got one further goal for a tally of 11. For North Melbourne, Longmire got 7. A couple of important injuries. Darren Bennett has a broken little finger, Brayshaw a twisted ankle, Todd Viney a corked thigh, and there were 2 reports, both important. Mark Roberts, reported by field umpire Cameron, for allegedly striking Obst with a forearm during the second quarter, and Alan Djakovic, reported by field umpire Cameron, for allegedly using abusive language to the umpire during the fourth quarter of today's match. So it will be a very interesting session at the AFL Tribunal. The game at Windy Hill between Essendon and the Sydney Swans is next on the AFL Today.
The days are are grey, the nights are long, so turn it on, turn it on, oh turn it on, show me what you've got, turn it on, 'cause when you're hot, you're hot.
You can do it with the McEwens, 'cause we've got a million things.
This Sigwell Compact 2 welder is only $169, save $40. You can't buy it for less anywhere.
You can do it with the McEwens, 'cause we've got a million things.
Warning, warning, aliens approaching. Warning.
Where on earth did that come from?
The out-of-this-world Star Wagon from Mitsubishi.
People choose Tobin Brothers for our attention to the smallest details. They choose us for our thoughtful, professional approach, the choices we offer, and our tradition of trust. Melbourne families have been turning to Tobin Brothers since 1934, and with convenient locations established to meet the city's expanding needs, that tradition of trust continues. Tobin Brothers, a better way.
So, how's your new girlfriend?
Oh, you'll see. She'll be here soon.
And you're eating onions?
Yeah, I love them.
She's going to love your onion breath.
Doesn't matter. I've got PK.
After you eat, have some PK. PK has that clean, fresh taste and a freshness burst that refreshes your breath.
PK has a freshness burst that refreshes your breath. PK.
Never before did a road tyre owe so much to a race tyre. Directional Ducano from Goodwood.
A madman wanted her. Another man loved her. But one was determined to save her.
Let her go or die!
Deadly Pursuit, Sunday on 7.
The week we decided there's no business like snow business.
It's bloody freezing.
It's bloody freezing.
Oh, it is bloody freezing.
Oh, I can't say bloody, that's a naughty word.
And the word is that we've got guests coming out of our icicles, including from Britain's Friday Night Live and Blackadder, Ben Elton. See you during the week.
And welcome back. Well, at Windy Hill this afternoon, 5th place Essendon tried to run itself into some sort of form after a lacklustre month, which has seen the club drop matches against Footscray, Geelong, Richmond and Adelaide, in the middle of which was that huge win over North. Since coming off the bye in round 16, the Swans have been involved in 3 thrillers. An 11-point loss to Hawthorn, followed by nail-biting wins over Adelaide and Richmond. Certainly, they give value for money. Long and Somerville at Essendon were replaced by Anderson and Hurd, while for Sydney, the notable omission was that of Warwick Kappa for the second time this season. And Anderson, incidentally, was a late withdrawal in the selected side. He was replaced by O'Brien. Bruce McAvaney and Ian Robertson are our commentators, and we pick up play at the start of the second quarter.
Williams and Hurd at it, behind play, toe-to-toe for a moment. Tunbridge getting the first tap. Strong tackle by Flood. Buick looking for free and he'll get it. He's a clever player, seizes every opportunity and points out that Kelly over the mark, and Buick plays on quickly. Wallace falling over and Tui taking it without any opposition in the end. Drop punt. Murphy underneath it. Nettlebeck comes in, heels. Good stop there by Clarkson. Now Murphy. Twisting and turning and getting a high one. And
dangerous ploy there to wait for the umpire's whistle, though, but Murphy. He expected the free, but had it been coming, would have been barrel.
Salmon Bays taps it on. He had 9 kicks in the first quarter. Here's Kickett. Quick handball by Lewis. Off the ground by Bays. A high one. Bolton versus Izard. Important one here, right? And Bolton versus Izard now. Izard shepherded out by Bolton. Right's kick towards Dale Lewis, who takes a fly. Cransberg well done. West with a chance. Outnumbered by Danaher and also Harvey. And Harvey able to get away and then drop punt the ball back to centre wing where Izard and Bolton fall over after a wrestle.
Yes, both players holding onto each other and the ball close to the line. Hurd went hard at it and the ball helped over. So good umpiring there with Izard and Bolton. Obviously the umpire indicating that both players were doing a certain amount of tugging of each other.
Yes, that's a fair comment, Robbo. Bradley Plain coming back onto the ground for Wallace, who we just saw outmarked by Burnett too.
And Buick held again when he didn't have the football, but maybe just indicating a little too severely that it should have been a free kick. As a dust-up is on again. Swans player Barry Mitchell, is it being decked? And Williams trying to control it. Was it Mitch? Yes, it was Barry Mitchell.
He was on the receiving end of a bit of a short jab, I think.
Buick, handball on. Chance for Philandia. Inside 50. Philandia goes for goal and puts it through. Essendon get the first goal of the second quarter and still the players expressing annoyance at each other back near the centre. 5-5 to 2-3.
Well, it's no wonder that these scuffles and fights are occurring. If players are subjected to the pressure that Williams and Mitchell have been under for the first quarter and a small bit, well, their tempers are going to flare. And look at Hurd, he's doing the job well, he's doing the job after the coach, but it's up to the AFL to do something through the umpires.
Bad umpiring there. Essendon had 5, maybe 6 players in the centre square when they bounced that ball. Players were everywhere and they didn't pick them up.
Just going back to Philandia though, Bruce, I think he's been an excellent find. I'm surprised he was dragged off the ground earlier in the game.
Couldn't agree more. The kick to Madden is a beauty by Flood.
It was probably a disciplinary thing for the forward pocket, I thought, Jared. He was taken off straight away. Did something poor. I can't remember
Had
quite
that shot at the goal?
Maybe, yes. I think it might have been just after that the runner went out to him.
He had 3 kicks in the first 5 minutes, but you're right, and he did come off after that. Madden's kick 2. Now, this is a testing kick in the breeze, but if anyone's got local knowledge, it's this young fella. Drop punt. He kicked it well enough? I don't think so. A behind, but not a bad attempt.
Tell you what, he'd be impressed with that young business.
Well, he's only 33. He's been around for a couple of years, hasn't he? 367 games. There was Lawson we saw on the boundary line getting ready to come on. He's coming on for Love, so that's a blow to Sydney. Love not firing up so far.
Kick in and a great mark taken by Salmon. As he comes to ground, handballs away to Johnston. Johnston's kick across his body, not bad. Was it good fortune? Maybe. Watson marks at centre forward. Laconically, hand passes away to Chris Danaher, and that really was a gesture of arrogance, I feel. And now the Swans are penalised. Well, I don't know about that one. It's a long way away, but Flood has the free kick for the Bombers. Kicks it to the front of the goals. Marking contest. Madden got it. Impossible position. Got himself to the side, threw the left arm out, and basically marked it one-handed.
Well, don't forget Simon Madden has been practicing for 15 years to use that arm in the ruck, Jules, and it was almost exactly the same technique there, Robbo. Held Cordy out with the right hand, as he does in the ruck, and marked it superbly with the left.
The absolute freakish performance. Simon Madden, he's kicked 2. Can he kick his 3rd? He's only about 8 metres out, and he makes no mistake. 3 goals won to Simon Madden, and the Bombers get their 6th goal. Essendon are 6-6, Swans at 2-3.
And that was a damaging blow for the Swans. Kicking with the wind, they would have expected to get a bit of a hurry on here. But once again, we see Cordy doing the right thing, taking the front spot, but he loses body contact with Madden. He has no idea where he is, and Madden slides in front of him to take an easy mark, only a couple of yards out.
6-6-2-3, big break here now, 27-point margin. Williams out of the centre, going up half forward. Tunbridge went early and got a big thump. Bays. Williams looks for a free kick and gets it.
Well, certainly on. He was pulled when he didn't have anywhere near control of the football.
So the Diesel. West was his target, or Salmon with some courage there. Good handball by Danaher to Hills. Inside to Johnston. Not a good kick, but he probably have a lot of options. Flood and Kelly, and a throw in at centre wing.
And at the centre bounce, it's interesting to see that Mark Aythorne doesn't line up beside Buick. They're all on the defensive side of the bounce, obviously trying to shark Salmon or Madden's tap out.
Carroll and Watson doing the ruck work there. Off the ground by O'Brien. Plain versus Tui. Madden caught. Getting back Lawson. Wright, who's playing as a defender tagger today, Nettlebeck and Harvey, and a ball in at centre wing. So good work there by the defence for the Sydney Swans.
Well, good move from Colquhoun here. I think he's shifted Greg Williams up onto the half-forward flank. He wasn't getting any drive out of the centre, so they needed to do something. It's not often that Williams has moved out of the centre, and I think it's a good move.
Gee, that was a good tackle by Chris Danaher on Bolt. And scoop against Kickett. The fine line there, I guess.
I think if you lift the ball in the air, you're always a risk to get the free kick given against you.
Lewis to centre half forward. Bays, Williams, Hurd onto him again. Good tackle. O'Donnell on the up to Cransberg. Flat-footed Chris Danaher, and then dropped it. His hand skills leave a bit to be desired every now and then. His kick it short to Izzard.
And Essendon using the football much better than the Swans, Bruce, so far. Izzard is just wide of the centre on the far side of the ground. Kicks it up to the 50-metre line. Madden can't mark, but watch the tap on here. At the back it goes. Watson's scrambles after it. Handballs it wide. Chance for O'Brien. Can he steady? Yes. Can he kick the goal? Yes as well. O'Brien kicks his first goal and the Bombers get their 7th. And they lead 7-6 to 2-3.
Well, it was Dr. Yes there on a number of occasions, Robbo, but I was very surprised to see Tim Watson given this much time to get an easy handball out to Craig O'Brien. Should have been a tackle applied there, and Craig O'Brien picks up an easy ball and waltzes in and kicks a straightforward goal. Craig O'Brien been in and out of the seniors this year, but I like the way the boy plays.
48 to 15. Bombers on a bit of a roll here. O'Donnell. Really dangerous times for Sydney. Hurd's handball okay to Johnston. Hills is going to have the strength to break the tackle for Landia. Gee, handball crazy here, Essendon. Flood court. Chris Danaher, Hills. About 8 handballs in a row. Finally a kick, 2, he should take it. Doesn't. And Madden kicks his 4th.
McEwen's Super Money Savers are here with a housewarming offer from Insulco. Our 2.5 fat bats in half-square packs of 8 are Super Money Savers at $22.50. And for just $89, Insulco will insulate any size roof in Melbourne or Geelong metro area with any minimum purchase of 15 packs. $89 to install your new home insulation. What a money saver. McEwen's Super Money Savers are products that can't be bought for less anywhere, saving you even more.
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
If saving money is your biggest goal, a Westpac bonus saver account pays not just 1, but 2 percentage points of extra interest per annum. You can bank on Westpac to really kick your savings along.
Whatever you send on Australian Airlines Express is logged into our computers at every step by barcode, so we can keep tabs on your freight from door to door.
You should phone us now.
But their premiums are already too low. This is incredible. Who are these people?
It's GIO Australia, sir.
I know that, but now they're giving discounts just because your home and contents are on the one insurance policy.
I thought it was rather a good idea.
What? Plus a new for old option on both home and contents?
And discounts if you're over 55 and retired.
What are we going to do about it?
Well, you could retire, sir.
Phone GIO Australia for a better deal on your home and contents insurance.
Rapunzel! Hey, Rapunzel! 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 Ha! Yeah, let down your hair so that I might climb that golden stair! Rapunzel! Rapunzel! Come on, drop it to me, baby! Yes!
If there's one cup of coffee you don't want interrupted, it's your Maxwell House special cup of the day.
There are mechanics. And there are mechanics. Just as there are oils, and there's Castrol GTX2. Castrol are the oil specialists. So unless it's Castrol GTX2, oils ain't oils.
Tonight, the Bears can close the door on the Pies in their finals bid. The Brisbane-Collingwood clash. All the action live 7:30 tonight on 7.
On Hinch Monday night.
Cher, the world's hottest grandmother, reveals all.
45 seems so old.
And we also reveal what is really in those cans of pet food.
Tongues and lungs and livers, a lot of the offal.
Monday night on Hench.
Well, it's been a pretty handy start to this second term. We've got 17 3/4 minutes left, and already Essendon have kicked 4 goals, 1, and it's mainly from taking it away from the centre, but this time the Swans do. Bolton's long kick to full forward, getting back Terry Danaher. He's probably slowed down a little bit, but he's still got the time, and eventually, is that on the full hitting the behind post? No. Maybe he was over the line before he kicked the football, so it's a rush behind to the Sydney Swans.
You see here O'Donnell on screen with Murphy. It's a new experience for Murphy to be tagged. There's always been a couple of other players who were pinpointed for tags, and both he and Mitchell have to come to terms with that this year.
Johnston, a lovely kick. Beautiful kick to Hills, half-back flank on the right-hand side of this ground. And he'll kick it to the wing. Drop punt kick's not bad. Salmon, punch from behind. And Paul Salmon, the free kick against Tunbridge.
Well, Tunbridge had the big left hand in the back there, and Salmon being paid the dividends for playing in front.
Yeah, maybe a little risky to go across, but he does. Loose player is heard. In turn, kick it. Bombers have got numbers everywhere. Nearly gets past Williams. Handball to Chris Danaher. Play on. Lovely. Johnston into an open goal. Kick it and then go on with it behind play. But it's a behind. Kicked in the finish by Johnston.
Well, I'm not going to pinpoint the umpire there, but I believe he saw the scuffle between Kickett and Williams and almost turned a blind eye.
Tui to Cordy. Was there a free kick there, Ron?
Was there ever?
Okay, Lewis with a long one. Lawson and Watson at the back. Well played, Murphy. Vacant square in front of him.
Great
handball on to Bays, who should goal. Is a beautiful left foot kick. And that one on the run flat out misses. So behind the Bays, he's kicked 1-2. And Sydney are up to 2-4 to 8-7, or 2-5 I should say. 17 to 55. Yeah, the first score for Sydney in the second term. And we've got about 16 minutes remaining, so about halfway through. Johnson getting some touches. He really should have kicked the goal a minute ago, but he finds Izard this time.
Essendon really getting too many easy possessions, Gerard, aren't they?
Yes, they're outnumbering the Swans, and they're just chipping the ball over one after the other.
Half forward, high flyers. Higgins picks up the crumbs. Mitchell marks.
They really need the forwards to come running down to aid their backman to put the pressure on.
Mitchell's kick. Kransberg at the back. Taken away by Johnston. In turn to a player standing still, McMullen. Hurd's going to get caught, but he's got McMullen in support. Bounces once, he's going to get caught. Murphy holds that player when he bounced it.
Isn't that holding the ball?
I tend to agree with you, but maybe the ball running free didn't have control of it, and that's perhaps why the umpire didn't give him the free kick.
Bit of a grey area, that one, I think.
Certainly. Kelly clears for the Swans. Lawson's a chance wide, and can't quite control the football. Boundary throw in right half forward for the Swans.
Better play from Murphy nonetheless, though, Robert. When you're being tagged, you must get in and under the packs. The tagging player can't stop you from getting the possessions round the ground. That's what he must do.
Cleverly to Mitchell. Lewis having a battle there with Johnson. Nettlebeck, good handball quickly to Clarkson, who's taught by Izard, who trapped it pretty cleverly. Here's Bays, who saw a minute ago. Back to Bolton. From more than 50 metres, a chance here for West, and he takes a falling mark in front of Martin. Missed kick there by Bolton. And West in the right place. Bolton injured against Adelaide a couple of weeks ago. And what did they do? They had a look at his knee and decided he was okay, and he's come back.
That's right. They had an arthroscope performed on that knee. Evidently there was nothing worth taking out or cutting away, so back quite quickly.
West looks to have miskicked it badly. He hasn't missed it by all that much in the end, but not a good kick, and he's going to do up his shoelaces and give himself a talking to. So Swans still without a goal in this term, but 2-6 to 8-7, and Terry Danaher to bring him back in.
2-6, Gerard, in half a game of football, not good enough, is it?
No way known, Robbo, and they're going to suffer the consequences unless they really do get a hurry on this last 15 minutes.
Terry Danaher's good kick. Kransberg underneath couldn't take the mark. Athorn, good tackle. Chris Danaher played Johnston. Not doing too bad, David Johnston. Neither is this young fellow. He's only about 18 years of age. Hills Johnston again, up to half forward. Flood, no, can't mark. Goes after it again. Well done, David Flood. And the handball is creative. Chris Danaher into an open goal. No, gives it away. Watson will kick this. No, he won't. Well, he has he? Swung through. Unbelievable. Well, what spin did that have on it?
I want to call it the in-swinger.
Definitely going through the points, and it came back and Watson's dobbed it. Oh, incredible football.
Well, here we see on the replay a handball from Flood to the running Chris Danaher. Draws the player once again. Smart play. Now, off the boot, that ball looked like it was going to go to left, but you learn to do that down here at Windy Hill. He must have rubbed the ball on the outside and swung it back in.
61 to 18. An infringement in the centre square. And Tunbridge has kicked to half forward. Danaher with a run at the back. West sweeping handball, just hoping. Lawson with the pace. Outnumbered in the end. The tackle put on him. McMullen, who's had a fit of the fumbles all day. This time Salmon. Gee, that is a fantastic kick, isn't it?
Brilliant kick.
Yep. What is he? 206 centimetres. Like a rover. Here's Watson. Higgins. Greg Williams. With Hurd not far away for Landy. A good job done. Hills, who Ian was singing his praises a moment ago. Watson caught in the end, but he does well with his strength. Now Hills looks for a free and he'll get it.
Oh, that's the old KB thing.
It was, but it was a handball though, Robbo. If you have a look closely, he just snuck a little fist. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think he did here, for sure.
I tell you what, Timmy Watson ought to told that he's not playing the Swans seconds.
I think he's taking too long.
Oh, arrogance is incredible.
Flood, centre wing. It's good to have a pair of hands, Flood. Philandia goes on his own in the end, probably without a lot of confidence. Tui, left foot high. Hurd, Carroll, O'Donnell. Carroll and O'Donnell together. Well played. Murphy backwards to Higgins, and Hurd keeps the pressure on, but Higgins gets around him. Drop punt to centre half forward. Not a particularly good kick. Harvey, good gift to McMullen. He's got Izard wide. One bounce. A second one. A third one. Runs almost too far in the end, and a poor kick. Thought he couldn't handle it. Wright does.
Stevie Wright's left foot kick to half back, and a diving mark is taken there by Leon Higgins. It was a good effort in the finish.
Well, he was named in the forward pocket, Stevie Wright, but he's been one of the Swans' better players in the back pocket, so he's doing well.
Higgins kick to centre wing. Mitchell rides the Hills bump nicely, but forced to kick with the left foot, and well done. Paul Hills, a good smother.
You see here some very heavy taping on Barry Mitchell's right knee. I believe he didn't train all week and was subject to a fitness test this morning. For a player who runs 25 kilometres a game, it's going to be a big ask for Mitch.
And nearly the 18th possession coming up for this young player, and boy, has he got some composure. He played a fantastic debut game out at Waverley and perhaps struggled a little bit. He gives away his 12th handball. Watson between wing and half forward, kicks it to within goal scoring distance. No mark. Flood got the ball, gets the handball away. Into an open goal goes Bradley Plain and puts it through.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1991 AFL Premiership season.
And in the end at Windy Hill this afternoon, the Bombers just too good, running out winners by 67 points. And for Essendon, Madden finished up with 7 goals, for Landy 3 and Salmon 3. And for Sydney, Nettlebeck got 3, 2 each to Love and Bays. Reported players, Dale Lewis on a charge of striking. He was booked for allegedly striking McMullen in the first quarter, and Shane Hurd of Essendon, reported by field umpire Carey for unduly rough play on Greg Williams in the first quarter. Other games being played today out at VFL Park, and Hawthorn had a fairly close one over Footscray. They've had trouble with the Bulldogs out there in recent times. Dunstall got 3 for Hawthorn and 2 each to Hall and Jarman, and for Footscray it was 2 to Ballantyne and 2 to Royal. The thriller of the day was out at Princes Park, and the upsets of the round certainly, and it was 2 points in the end to the Blues. Sartori got 5 and Kernahan 3, and for Geelong 5 to Darcy and 3 to Adelaide.
Time now to check the CUB AFL 1991 Premiership Season League ladder.
And let's take a look after today's matches. The West Coast, of course, still on top. Hawthorn and Geelong now, interestingly, level. 72.2 match ratio for both of those teams, and they're both on 52 points and not much in the percentage either. Essendon, North and St Kilda. St Kilda, of course, having the bye this weekend, and it's pretty interesting too. Melbourne, Collingwood, and Adelaide still with hopes of playing in the final. So a very, very interesting situation. Of course, one match tonight up at Carrara involving the Magpies.
Brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, BP Car Care, Westpac, CUB.